Okay, let's get started. Where do we begin? We begin with setting the microphone. Awesome. So, Forza Motorsport. A lot of things happening here. Let's find out. Okay, so everybody's going crazy about the issues first and foremost, and yes, there are issues. I played a little bit for the past few days, on and off, just getting aggravated because the so let's back up real quick. Hold on. Did I make a change? Yes, I did. All right. So a few things were happening. I hope the game doesn't crash, because I don't understand what was going on with the game crashing, but apparently I picked a car and I kept trying to get into some race events, which I definitely want to talk about. I'm excited about that. And the game kept crashing, so I went a day without playing while I was trying to figure out, searching online if anybody had these problems. So went through all that and ended up getting on a day after, and it seemed to be running fine. I hope it doesn't crash. We'll see what happens. All right, so the other thing was the way the game looks. So yes, PC for some reason, like, let's go to basic video. So you get to run benchmarks, right? And so, all right, first and foremost, I got the screen resolution desktop set to 30. That's all right. So I manually set the resolution of the desktop to 3440 by 1440. So the first thing I'm gonna do is try to set this to it. So let's apply it. All right, so the game didn't crash. A round of applause. It didn't crash. All right, now next, misunderstanding what's happening here. Like it says dynamic render quality. Set the target visual quality level for the experience. So I guess that means I want to have an ultra gaming experience, right? What does that even mean? Look ultra, quality, visual, obviously. This option is set by default based upon your detected hardware, and increasing it can have significant negative impact on performance. Available quality settings may be limited based on your system resources. And note, some settings may require you to exit and relaunch the race to take effect. All right, so they're telling you exiting the race, but 9 times out of 10, it's probably going to be like Forza Horizon 5, where you'll have to go out of the game and come back in. All right, so we got that out of the way. So it's set to ultra, dynamic render quality, dynamic optimization, default, right? Default, don't touch it. We have show frame rate on, and the AMD FSR 2.0 I don't have on, but I have the Adrenaline hardware. I am using the Radeon RX 7700 XT, and so the Adrenaline software allows me to run hyper. So I just have that globally set, and as well as for the game inside the Adrenaline software set to that. So I'm not even going to go into advanced video. You can see there at the bottom it says estimated VRAM usage 4,460 out of 12,000, or 12 gigs. So let's first see what the game looks like and if it's going to play without crashing. So this is all applied. Let's back out. And one of the cool things I'm going to have to talk about, because we're going to go into the game, is everybody says, oh, the campaign, who cares about the campaign? Oh my God, you have to go through this process of leveling up your car to get parts. Oh, it doesn't matter. If you go to race and you click free play, this is really cool. I kudos. All right, click free play, and you can do quick event setup or advanced event setup, right? So let's see. Do I have this stuff already set? All right. So here, these should be cars you already have unlocked, right? I'm having a field day. I haven't even touched any of these cars, right? I'm so having a field day over here with it's 95 Mitsubishi Eclipse GSX. I love that car. So obviously a car guy, that's what I'm doing here on Forza. This game is not for everybody. I repeat, this is really a car guy or car chick kind of game. It's not like Horizon. It's not, this is just a car enthusiast game. All right. So let's deal with that. So if we click on here, we're going to pick the car, changing car, right? All right. So it says, what's your game type? Well, circuit races. Tracks, random. Track layout, random. Time of day, random. Weather, random. Number of laps, let's do 5 laps, right? Number of drivatars, we're gonna just run the max. All right, so we're gonna set this and we're gonna just constantly race to level up and teach ourselves about the car we're driving. Now, everybody's saying, oh man, I really don't want to be having to go through the career and to level this car. You don't. One, you can literally go straight to the multiplayer, which we'll talk about that. I'm enjoying that too, but you can go do multiplayer, or you can literally come here, set up your quick event, and this is going to be an endless rotation of racing, right? You're let's say you're just getting off work and you want to have a relaxing time, just maybe do 2 or 3 races, right? Well, once you set up this quick event, you can do 2 or 3 races against the AI if you don't feel like jumping in multiplayer. Or let's say you've got an hour or two to level up a car, put time into leveling up a car that you bought that you really want to drive and get to learn and drive, right? So you pick the car out, as you saw we did. We're in Eclipse, 95 Eclipse GSX. And so for maybe I'll do 3 races. Maybe I'll do 2 or 3 races. And that's what I'll do for my relaxation time to wind down, getting off work from a long day. And so I'm just going to say, okay, this is my setup. Accept it, right? We're going to accept these options, and it's going to take us, look, Watkins Glen. That's what it wants to do. Now, mind you, first and foremost, I have my microphone set up attached to the desk, and I'm sitting way up on my wheel. So let me see. Hold on. Yeah, this is going to be ugly. All right, so this isn't going to work right. Obviously my mic is sitting right in front of me and I can't pull it far enough across the wheel. Oh. So anyways, we're gonna deal with it. I'm not even gonna take this serious. I'm just gonna show you all what's happening. So people say, oh yeah, man, I don't want to go through this career stuff, it's boring, da 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 da. So now we're in free play. We're doing circuit race events, and this is going to be an endless loop of different races, different weather, different time of day, and boom, right? So you have the event settings, the car settings. We've already selected the car. You can do your upgrading. So you can come in here and upgrade. Again, we're doing custom race events that'll be endless, okay? So we'll go into performance, and it's like, oh, well, our car level is 12. This will take forever. Who cares? So as we're getting to know this car, we're unlocking things, and we will basically be upgrading the car while we're driving it. All right, so tire compound, that's recent. Let's see. Ooh, we've got street. I can't afford that. Sport, I can't afford that. Race tires, those would be sticky. And drags, well, we're not drag racing. So you can see here in performance the gains we're going to get. I'm still running on stocks. So I have to get the CP points at the top where it says available 275 and used 1925. I've got to keep doing these races and hook up the car and tune it as I see fit. All right, so let's back out of there. You see here, you can come into your tuning, right? And you can adjust it the way you want it. So you'll be getting to know the car you're driving, right? And yes, also I'm on a Logitech G29 or G29 or 923. I don't know. So you can adjust the feedback for the vehicle as well as just for random, for your general settings. All right, so that's a whole nother set of pages to look at. We'll get to that another time. All right, so now that we see that we can go to free play and circuit race, that's how you'll level your car up. All right, another thing too while we're here, of course you can do your quick upgrade, but you can also come to fuel and tire. And so my fuel load for 0 laps, that's crazy. Lap time, why did I set this for lap time? No. Okay, let's back up. Let's go to event setup and number of laps. Right, I thought we set it for laps. All right, let's back up. Car, fuel and tire. Right, so fuel load, I don't know, 5 laps, I don't know. It would usually show as you adjust it where it says fuel, how many laps you're setting it for. It clearly says a featured race at 5 laps, so I don't think I need a whole full tank, you know what I mean? So we'll see what happens. All right, now you can adjust your tires and stuff there. Now, mind you, only when you get racing tires can you now have those adjustments. And it's not all, you get stock. Pretty much it'll all be stock until you get those racing tires. Then you have the adjustments in between. All right, so let's back up and just take a look at the game. Now, mind you, everybody's complaining about the graphics on the PC. I'm a complainer too. I play Horizon 5 and it looks amazing, but this game at this point for PC, no way. And this is why I've been aggravated. All right, so you can see compared to Horizon 5, the counterpart is like, this looks like garbage. So I'm not gonna do too. Oh wait, the mouse was set on the other screen. All right, let's get back over here. All right, back on our screen. So yes, we're not going to take this too serious. I'm just going to show you guys what's happening. I hope the volume isn't too loud, because if so, this video is trash. All right, so in comparison to Horizon 5, this looks like garbage. And again, driving is going to be atrocious. My microphone is sitting right above my steering wheel, and I'm sitting right up on my steering wheel so I can talk. This is terrible, but I love it. So the game looks like crud right now for PC, and you're not going to tell me that this is like some super overly powered game, you know what I'm saying? Because Horizon 5 is an open world game, and it looks 20 times better than this. So I'm going to assume that drivers need to be updated, and there needs to be plenty of optimization for this. I mean, it really looks like crud. Okay, so I'm going to try to do a whole lap. This is not going to be a recording to really show off the gameplay. This is just going to be to give you a look at the issues that a lot of people are complaining about, that I'm complaining about, because yeah, once you put money into something, it's like, ooh, can't get that money back. It's just gone, and this is what you're left with. But I'll tell you, I'm super excited to get my hands on all these cars. Oh, I didn't. I got. I should have my. Let's see. Nope, it's not on. I got to go back and cut the levels, the difficulty and rules set. I'm gonna show you that in a second. I'm not going to do a whole race here. I just wanted you to get a look at what's going on. But as you can see, I've got the render quality on ultra, and you know, it's running what it around. It's not even hitting 60 frames per second. I would have to go and drop this down to a high render quality, and this is terrible because with Horizon 5, I mean, I'm getting 100, 20, 30, 50, 60 frames per second, and it's like, what's going on here? This is crud. It's really crud. So all right, let's go ahead and end that there. Let's get out of that right there. Let's get off the road, off the road, off the road, off the road. Ow, you hit me. Yeah, dude, man, just hit me. All right, so we're not going to resume that. We're going to exit stage left. Quit race. I'll probably do videos where I just record the actual game footage, but I'm not too excited about that or pressed, mainly because of the video quality. Like, people have been saying, oh, at some points it looks great, and then at other points it looks like crap. That's really what's going on. At some points it looks great, and then some points it looks like crap. Let's go into settings. I sure hope that, let's do this here. Let's do this here. Let's bring that down, because I had it maybe kind of high, but last time I had it too low, and it was like nobody could hear the actual sound coming from the game. You know, I don't know. It doesn't matter. All right, so let's just dig into this. So if we come back into basic, all right, you can see here we just had it on ultra. You saw that. I'm going to bring it down to high. We're going to run a benchmark. Go ahead, run that benchmark. The beauty of games having benchmarks, all games should have a internal gaming benchmark to allow you to test and tune for your pleasure of the game, so you can play it how you want to play it. All right, let's see. All right, so we put it on high, and this is new. And I'm gonna tell you why this is new. Is yesterday the same thing brought me 60 frames per second. So up there it is, 60, and it would put me right at 60. So to see it creeping back up means maybe there's some adjusting happening with the game that I don't know about. Maybe I need to go and see if, I don't know, something's got to be going on. All right, so that's a big deal compared to what happened yesterday. Yesterday, it was only like 60 frames per second. So I don't know. Now, here's something crazy. So I played The Crew Motorfest, and I like that game too. As an open world racing game, that's a really cool game. All right, you can see the stats on the screen of what I'm running. It's all there. And when that game released and I first started playing it, it looked like clay potatoes. And I was like, this is so disgusting. Why does the game look and run like that, right? And then an update came out like a week later through AMD, and then boom, the game looks great. And I was like, well, they're working on it, but they still have you locked at 60 frames per second, which I just was like, well, I'm sure this computer would do much better than 60 frames. It's pretty nice, you know what I'm saying? But no, they have you locked so that you can't do any more. So that sucks, all right? So then I see this game doing like the same thing. Now, mind you, when Horizon 5 came out, it was the same. So I'm expecting over the coming weeks for the games, this and the Crew Motorfest, to progressively get better. And so better, I mean graphically, for your enjoyment of the game, for the visual treat, because they, told you it was a wonderful, great game to look at, right? So anyways, this is what's going on. This is better than yesterday, and the day before was worse than yesterday. So it's like progressively it's getting better. I do not have AMD's FSR on. It's not on. You can see here the current dynamic render quality is high and everything is on auto. So it should be setting itself to make it look good at high resolution. We're running at 3440 by 1440 at a refresh rate of 100 hertz. It shows the latest driver version, so I have to see if anything needs to be updated. So yeah. All right, it says we should be getting 73 frames per second. So let's exit stage left. No, let's go right. No, we're gonna go left. All right. So we have seen an improvement compared to yesterday, and I will be getting a few races in after I get done trying to make this video. All right, so again, a lot of people were saying, oh man, I don't want to have to get a car and go through all this stuff to level it up. But I'm telling you, like, it's not even that big of a deal, okay? It's not. So you're gonna pick up a car. Oh man, I have not even browsed through the car list, and I know there's gonna be more cars coming because it's Forza, so it's a lot of cars. Like, I just don't even know what's in this game right now. And so no, I'm not going to make a video of me browsing through cars. Obviously, that just would be something that I probably would do that I shouldn't do. I'm not going to do it. I don't know though. I don't know. So yeah, it looks like a lot of nice cars that I wouldn't mind getting my hands on to fool around with. But people are like, oh my god, so you mean every time I get a new car, I've got to go through this long drawn out process to level it up to get these parts? Well, yes and no. It's not even that big of a deal. It's not that hard to do. You're going to be playing the game, and as you're playing the game, that's just what happens. You're learning the car and leveling up the car. They just gave it to you as something to do versus, oh look, I've got 1,000,000 credits, let me buy this car and dump these credits in it and then go drive it and do whatever, versus let me get acquainted to this car. How does it drive? How does it feel? Do I like it? Ooh, I like, because you get to take the time to go through that 1981 BMW M1. I am a fan of that. And if you come over here to this one, I am a huge fan. I haven't really driven that one, but I've driven this one and I've driven that one, and I like those. So you'll pick your car, and Bugatti. It's a Bugatti, right? And then you'll just, let's do this one more time just so you all see. And I can edit the video, so it doesn't even matter. No, I'll just show you what I want you to see. Yes, and you love it. You love it so much. All right, Corvettes. All right, let's back up. So we want to buy a car. And so let's just imagine we bought a car. And now, let's back up one more time. We want to go level it up and learn it, right? So let me see if I got a car. Let's go to free play. We'll get to multiplayer in a second. We'll get there. That's I like it there, right? So let's click on advanced setup. All right, so something that I haven't driven. I have not driven the 2021 BMW M4 Competition Coupe. All right, I haven't driven that at all. All right, so we're gonna advanced settings, right? Circuit race, race length. Oh, right. So that's a timed race. No, no, I don't want to do that. We're gonna click on quick event. We're gonna click on that BMW that we haven't driven. And you can see here, we've got it set for circuit racing, random tracks, random layouts, a random time of day. We've got it set for random weather condition, 5 laps, and 23 drive avatars, right? So we got that. And we're going to keep those. Where was it? Something else. Oh, I know what it was. I wanted to show you all this too. The difficulty settings. Virginia International Raceway. So a lot of these tracks are already familiar. One or two of them I wasn't familiar with, and that's from playing other games too. Difficulty. Okay, so in difficulty, right, you can that's some funny feedback in the headphones. You can change the difficulty of your AI. I think I was playing at 3. Okay. Then this is the part I like. So I want expert rules. One, I'm not a fan of rewind. I just think that when you're driving and you're trying to get close to realism, you can't rewind in realism. You can't. Simulating damage. Well, damage is something that happens when you're racing, really, because you keep hitting me, my car's going to be kaput, and then I got to get into a pit, hopefully, or the race is over. So this is why I love these expert rules. Fuel and tires, yes, right? Because in real life, you're driving, so you're burning fuel, and depending on how hard you're driving is how fast you're wearing those tires down, and full penalties, right? So that's the setting I choose. I'm only running at 3 because as I'm learning, trying to remember these tracks and learning and seeing how much better I get, like if I start getting in first place too fast, or if I'm in first place for more than 1 lap, I'm like, oh, this is crazy. Kick the level up. And that's what I'm doing now. So I've worked my way to like 3, and 3 is pretty good for me right now as I'm going through the motions. All right, so let's save that. And boom, now we can do the unlimited racing events. Again, I'm not going to do it. My microphone's sitting right over top of my steering wheel. So once I get through all this, I'll probably make a separate video of just showing you, right? I'll probably make a video where I will do maybe 1 or 2 races of this endless cycle of getting to know your car and leveling your car. All right. So we picked the car. And so then we just go into the race with that car. Ooh, I didn't know I had that Camaro. Do I have that Camaro? That's a rent. I'm not renting. No. Or do I have that? No, I don't own that. Yeah, I might own that. Ooh, I might own that. Yeah, I'll find out later. All right, so that's the whole process you'll go through there. Now let's go look at, let's exit out of that. Let's go look at what goes on in the world of multiplayer, right? And I'm not going to do those races. Again, awkward situation right now. It's just not going to work out in my favor. Let's back up. And if you want to level your cars as well, right? Race. Let's go to private multiplayer. Oh no, we're not doing private. Oh. Yeah, we're not doing private. Hold on. Starting multiplayer. Invite friends to a lobby. Right. So, I will get to that, but that's not where we want to be. Let's go to featured. Did they not have it? I thought they were going to have, the choose. Oh, let's see. Okay, open events. Right. Nope. They don't have it. Okay. So as of right now, this is it. No. Yeah. No. Okay. Okay. Oh, it's a rotation. I think what's happening is, these are rotations. So entry, race. So you can get into A series races, A class races, and R class races right now. And then a spotlight series, which is you can drive a Dodge Viper. All right. So and it's a short race length, which means it's on time, not laps. Well, that says 5 laps, so I don't know what they mean by that. All right, so you have this way to do it. Then you have these events as well. So these set time frames into 2 hours. You can get the touring car races and the Forza GT races, which I'm definitely enjoying all this. So you can, let's go open into one of them real quick. See, all right, so you can see here you've got Maple Valley and you've got Laguna Seca, and then the rotation is going to bring these other maps in: Nürburgring, Laguna Seca again, Suzuka, Hakone, Nürburgring. So these things are in rotation, right? So if you, let's say you're working on, I don't know, at this point in time, let's say I was working on an A-class car, I could come in here and get into the multiplayer and start testing it out with other people and racing and getting to know the car if I wanted, because it's all, the name of the game for me is multiplayer. When we go into, and I'm not playing the career, but when we go into stuff like free play for me is just learning and hooking up the car and getting a good feel of the car, and again working up through the levels. So if I feel like I'm at level 4 or 5 with the AI difficulty and I'm doing pretty good and I'm getting pretty good times, it's like, well, this car seems to be pretty good, I'm doing pretty good, let's go ahead and jump to a multiplayer. Or I mean, because it's really just to learn your car and level your car up anyway. It's what I'm using free play for. And I would say if you're going to work on leveling your cars up, just do the quick event setup, right? And then then bring the car out. You know what I'm saying? Set up your circuit race, random tracks, random track layout, random time of day, random weather, number of laps, number of drive avatars. And every time you complete a race, you can just do another one, and it'll randomly generate these things. And so you're always getting something new and fresh over and over and over, which will keep you entertained as you're leveling up your car. It's always something different coming. Wow. That, it's just like, oh, wow. Did he get it all out that time? I think so. Okay. So, other than me trying to, enjoy the game visually, is what I'm dealing with. The game looks great. Oh, settings, right? I didn't show you all this. I might as well go through all this stuff, right? So, driving assist is here. How I'm running it is I don't want the suggested line because, again, in free mode, I'm going to have different tracks popping up all the time, and I want to get acquainted with the tracks as far as, oh, wow, I've been on this track before. It looks familiar versus, oh, I'm letting the line take me everywhere I have to go. Then I'm putting my trust in the line and I'm never remembering the track. I'm just watching the line. It's like GPS, right? And so you get GPS on, you're not memorizing the things you're seeing. All right. Braking, I have ABS on. Throttle, I don't want the assistance. Steering, I choose simulation. Allow manual steering into pit. Right, so I can drive myself into the pit. Traction control, I turned off. Stability control, I find that if you're not drifting, you should use this to keep you from losing the car. And I mean like losing control of it. Shifting's on automatic. Let's see. Pit entry button hold time. Yeah. All right. Accessibility, gameplay, and HUD. I did not want the added mirror, so that's off. Lap time, position, and score, I don't really want to see that. Speedometer, I don't want to see that. The map, I really don't want to see that, because I feel like if I'm watching these things, I'm not watching the track or the road that I'm driving. Like, I'm watching everything in front of me. I'm watching the cars coming up on me, and then I'm negotiating how to take the turn, so I feel like I'm learning how to drive the track. That's why you see me using these settings. Damage, fuel, and tire, conditional. Oh, let's just leave that on. Car progression is on because we want to go through the motions. Delta bar, not necessary. Wrong way warning. If you ever, I guess, get spun around, you want to know that you're going the right direction. Let's see. Yes, I kept the caution messaging on, the track mastery on, track limits. I know what the track limits pretty much are. Don't go, I would assume for the most part, I think I have a pretty good understanding of that. Let's see what else. Let's go to audio, basic video. We already went through the video settings. Advanced video, we're not going to touch that stuff. It's set on auto. Let's see, we're not doing keyboard input. Advanced input. All right, so I didn't touch the steering dead zone. I didn't invert the force feedback. The acceleration, didn't I do this already? Why do I feel like my settings didn't stay? I think I had this set to 10, right? And I had this set to 10. Why do I feel like it just didn't save it? All right, let's see. Vibration, yes. I don't like the vibration in the steering wheel. I think the vibration should be on another peripheral and not the steering wheel. Steering self-alignment, yeah, I've got that. Again, it's a Logitech. It's gears, not a belt, not a direct drive, I would say, but with a belt. Mechanical trail scale, I've got 140. The pneumatic trail scale, I got it 60. I want to know what the road feels like, so that's on 200, maxed out. Load sensitivity 70. Wheel dampening is 200, and I'll dial that back as I go. But at first, I want to feel as much as I can and then dial things back. So I want the wheel to feel heavy. I don't like a loose wheel, but as I go with the cars, you know what I'm saying, as I'm feeling things, I'll change that. But I just maxed that out just, again, because it's the gear wheel, not a direct drive. Centering springs at 115, and I was just piddling around with it. I'm not sure about that. I'll probably change that the more I drive. Dynamic damper behavior, I just left that at 100. Steering sensitivity is at 50, and then those are standard default. Steering linearity, wow, that's at 50. And that's it, right? We're speaking English, United States, right? Yeah. All right. And that's it. All right. So those are what I'm doing with the settings. I did change a few things in there, so we'll go ahead and save that. And so I will more than likely just do some recorded video of the game. But as of right now, let me show you this too before I get out of here. In career, like I get it. Some people want to play single player, like somewhat campaign, but this is my thought and idea that I think, because of the type of game this is, I really think Forza, you could really take these race events, right, and throw these into multiplayer, right? Do a Tours of Motorsport multiplayer, so that, for instance, I get off work and I say, okay, let me go do a track day, and online track day, and then boom, I join track day. It puts me in a queue, 12, 20, whatever, how many people decide to join it, and that's us running it. You know what I'm saying? Let's go to Builders Cup. So as you can see, I've done the basics, the very basics, to get a feel of what's going on with the game, and I'll probably go back and do all of them at some point in time. So anyways, but I tell you what would really make me do this is if these were multiplayer events. Okay, So if you took this and you said, okay, practical performance series multiplayer, so I queue this and I go through all those races, but it's online with other players, and you can put all the penalties and everything there that you would normally have, and then that's how I would go through all these events online. Now again, you wouldn't take this away from a single player thing. You would put this same screen, right? Take all this Builders Cup stuff, take all this and put it in the multiplayer screen as well, so that I can play with other people. See, look, Class Series C. Well, yeah, I'd like to do that and level up as I go with other people online. Okay. Maybe I don't want to play single player, and I could, right? But maybe because you have these as race events already set up, it's content that's playable that you can get double out of. For the people that want to play single campaign, this is what they'll do. And for the people that want to play multiplayer, well, they'll just play the multiplayer and do all this as well and go through all these series and events and everything else. And that's just what they would do. Okay. So what I'm saying for Motorsport, the development team, take all of the Builders Cup and put all this also, leave it here, but put a copy of this in multiplayer. Put a copy of the Builders Cup in multiplayer, and then featured, take the exact same, copy this and put it in multiplayer. Okay, that's it. You got a winner. You got a winner. I'm going to still give you money to get the car packs as they come out. I can get on here. I got an hour after work. I can get on here, burn up an hour. I can say, let me do the track exotics. You know, and I get online and it's like 10 people in the room racing. You know what I'm saying? I'm like, okay, this is cool. I'm having a great time, because isn't that what people get on Forza for? Right? It's the multiplaying action. Nobody really, I mean, some people will play by themselves, but it'll be boring. And so let me just say that for the people that play for themselves, that are by themselves, that are saying, oh, the game sucks, it's boring. That's because you're playing the game in single player mode, and you're not playing the way it's made, which is multiplayer. Which brings me to another point. A lot of people are saying that the game is a slower paced game. They're not having fun. They don't feel like it's intuitive, and they're they're just not enjoying the game. It doesn't feel like they connect to it. So I would say this as well. The game is way better when you're using the peripherals such as the wheel and pedal set. Okay. And entry level, whether you go with Logitech or you go with some of these other brands, which I would skip Logitech and go with like a direct drive. There's a lot of companies producing these $300 setups, which is no different, I believe, than the basic setup for Logitech, around $300. You start there, and you might get the like a $50 or $60 sim rig to hold this stuff. You'll start there, and you'll get the controller out of your hand, and you'll use the wheel with force feedback. Once you do that, you'll find that you're more drawn into the game. And that's just like basic stuff. You'll find that you're more drawn into the game, and you'll want to play it more. And I think that's what a lot of these players are missing, because you're picking up a controller, you're in third person view, and it's like you're controlling an RC car. I don't see how any of that is fun, because you could just get an RC car and go outside. But it just seems to me like you're not using the extra things that are made to immerse yourself in the game, because once you get I'm not gonna go through all the steps. You will see those in other videos. But once you get a wheel set up and you go into the cockpit mode, then you'll see the steering wheel, the mirrors, and you'll bring your computer screen closer to your wheel setup, and you'll begin to become immersed. You'll throw your headphones on, and this game has really great sound quality. So you'll find yourself getting more immersed in the game that way versus playing with the controller. So if people are telling you the game sucks and it's boring and they're playing with a controller, that's the first thing. ditch the controller, get the wheel set up, start there, and then tell that story after. Other than that, that was like the good and the bad. We're gonna see on the days to come. Like, I'm still getting some feedback that's coming through. I don't know if it's like the sound from the game or whatever. It was static and stuff. But anyways, don't know. The game does have its bugs. It seems like they're working on it. Again, yesterday I was at 60 frames per second. Today it's up to 100 frames per second. Well, 70 frames. 70 with a maximum of 100 frames. So we'll see if tomorrow it's up to like 100 frames regular, because again, this stuff isn't cheap and it should be running a lot better than what it is. As well as the other games that I play run really great. So anyways, we'll keep up to date with that. This is just really looking at the good and the bad of the game, and we'll just go from there. All right, we'll kill it there.